Alright, welcome to today's Studio Armor Review. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe below, and comment below. Today I'm going to cover the independent clans of my Exodite armies. These are the units that count as the Dark Eldar Incubi. These are my Dragon Warriors. Now, this took a little bit of thinking. This one was not one of those easily discovered, that's the best way to put it, easily discovered units. I really like the idea of the Incubi's ability to, their armor-piercing weapons, their increased strength, the durability in combat. They were great at taking out Space Marines. And that's what I needed, but I couldn't figure a way to get them in here. And I was looking for a particular detail part to build my Tech Marine for my son. And I went to that link, and I don't forget actually it's Bitspudlo or something like that, .com, and there was these dragon heads on the site, and it's like the little resin heads, and it's like, well, that's pretty cool. And actually, it kind of made it'd be great because I remember from when I was younger and as a kid, there were some movies on and shows that they wear these creature masks as helms, and I can't remember the movie. I'm thinking of it, it's an image in my head, but the helm that was used looked just like some other creature, and so I thought, oh, that will work. It's dragon-like, so it can be considered 3-up armor, and I just need to find a figure that will match it. Well, pouring through, just exploring model options out there for other ideas I had, I ran across the in my local shop. I picked up a box of the Eternal Guards, and of course on the back it's the Wildwood Rangers. Same thing, same model, different weapon options. And it's like, those weapons look a lot like the weapons, the Clavex, that the Claves that the Incubi use. So I thought, perfect. Just throw the head on these guys. And then I quickly thought, well, no, because they don't have much in the way of armor there. So I just think a little bit. Looked at the picture, got some ideas, and I realized, you know what? A little bit of green stuff, and we got that covered too. So that was the birth of my Dragon Warriors. Now, the Dragon Warriors are part of the Dark Knives clan. They don't really have any special name, really. I mean, they're Dragon Warriors. That's what they're called. They don't actually call themselves anything fancy. The Dragon Warriors is what the Imperium kind of calls them. They are unique to this one clan. And again, the Dark Knives clan is a close combat specialist clan. But whereas the Mood Maidens and Daughters of Lilith are fighters who specialize in the fast, dexterous attacks, these guys are in there for the kill. They love that two-handed weapon of theirs. So the way I approach this is I use the regular Wood Elf model, and I decided, I don't really like the look of just the dragon head. These are elves, and they have to have hair. So I went ahead and I sculpted hair for each one of them. It's a very simple sculpt. I'm actually about to do a video on how to do that. This is the simple type of hair to sculpt. And since as long as we've got this on the screen, I figured I'd talk about the fact that these elves all had different color hair. Thinking back to Lord of the Rings, each faction of the elves had a different hair color, predominant hair color, right? And as I mentioned in my House Clans survey or video, each clan had a particular hair color. Well, these Exodites are from the independent clans. These are the ones who came later, and the different survivors of that particular voyage kind of just came together, and whoever was left became their clan. So there was a small group, so the different elves from different hair colors are all mixed up in there. So that's why in the independent clans, the hair colors between models will differ. But I took, very, very simply, coming off the back of the helm, the dragon head, I actually call it a helm in this one, just begin the cascade of hair. And then on the arms, where in the actual model itself, both upper arms on each model are bare. They're supposed to be bare skin. I used green stuff to pad it up, build it up, and then just stippled it with a little toothpick, or actually most of the time I used the tip of a number 11 X-Acto knife, and that allowed me to get a dragon scale look. Now I also found that if I put the, let's see if that focuses properly. There we go. If I put one of those teeth that you find on raiders on the arm first, and then built up around it, I've got this little jagged tooth-looking thing coming off, and that added just another dimension to the model. That I thought, oh, that's perfect. And so it now looks like he is wearing a more heavily armored suit of some sort. Now, maroon is the color of the Dark Knives clan, so that's why all their capes and cloaks are maroon. And there's highlighting and shading on there. It's not coming out very well on the video. However, the gemstone coloration is coming out pretty nice. You know, there's certain aspects of this model that look better on video than in person. Anyway, so there's the Dragon Warriors, or Incubi. Now, what I decided to do with the Clavex type character, which is the Sergeant, is I decided that he needed to have a different weapon. You know, the Demiclaves is what he carries. Now, it's kind of neat to have a different weapon to stand out from the rest. But it's also nice to have a little flexibility in the attacks. Most of the weapons that I've come up with are, they're one for one. But in the case of this Dragon Glaive that I've got, I realized that, the Succubus has a two-handed weapon, a long weapon, their Archite Glaive. This has a glaive, well, sorry, it's a Demiclaves, but it functions as a two-handed weapon at times. And there's another weapon in one of the other units that, again, it's like a spear of some sort. So instead of having a different design of weapon for each one, I noticed that the units themselves have a different approach to combat. So whereas the Succubus and the witches in the Dark Eldar fluff have a particular style of fighting, when they use the Archite Glaive, they're gonna use a certain style with that weapon. When the Incubi use their combat styles are different. Every unit has a different way of approaching combat. So I thought, well, from my fencing background and my study of military history, I've noticed that the same weapon can be used in some cases many different styles of combat with slightly different effects depending on how the focus of that theory is applied to that weapon. So the Dragon Glaive in this case counts as not only the Archite Glaive for the Succubi, or my clan lady, it counts as the Demiclaves for my Dragon Warrior Sergeant. He's actually a Dragon Warrior Count, is what I call him. The Sergeant character of these units is always a Count or Countess. Again, promotion through the social hierarchy of the independent clans is based on martial prowess. Okay, so the Incubi, I loved them ever since I laid hands on that kit. I thought, oh, this is going to work out perfectly, these Dragon Warriors. And then I created I needed to create a raider to get them close into combat. And they've really been stellar for me, except for the very first time I used them. I think it's the new model syndrome on the attacker side. I put them within 5 or so inches, actually 4 inches of my opponent, disembarked from the raider, ready to charge a unit of Space Marines with a full squad, unharmed, no cover in the way, so I'd be going first, and I roll a 3. I rolls for the fleet, and I roll a 2. So they get shot up a little bit. Thankfully, they've got 3-up armor, and I had to wait a whole nother turn before I could get into close combat. So, and I didn't wipe out the unit the first time. I had a lot of whiffs the first time. So, except for that first close combat, these things have been very, very capable at taking out Space Marines. They're very effective, and I almost always take a unit of these in a raider. All right, so that's my Dragon Warriors. Hope it gives you some ideas and even some modeling ideas when it comes to how to go about making a slightly different version of a standard Codex model. Okay? Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment below, and I'll see you in the next Studio Armor review. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.